Hey YouTube, welcome. This is part 3. We're here with the Remnant.
Hey
Um,
y'all.
go over and follow her on YouTube. Instagram is Calamity Jane. I didn't log in, I was being lazy, but this is her YouTube channel. And we're just gonna bust back into the National Immigration Convention 1854. Again, this is part 3. Please go down and check out part 1 and 2. And I'm ready when you are.
Because there's a lot of juice in part 1 and 2. All right, so I think I was at the last sentence, page 39, right? Our friends in this.
Hold on. I have to go to the video.
Yes, that's where we at. We're there.
I gotta click the link again.
Shit.
I don't know what happened. Alright, y'all, bear with me. Y'all know I'm a little touched. Now, welcome to any newcomers. Welcome back to my YouTube family. And we're just gonna jump into this. Hold on. What page are you on?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
So petty. I used to be so excited about living in the city. This is shame.
Noisy. Noisy.
Sure. Anyway, page 39. At the very bottom, that last sentence, I'm going to segue into 40.
39.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it up. Y'all,
Okay,
go ahead.
you ready?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, y'all, it take us a minute to synchronize, but we pull it together and pull it off, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get to the page, man.
Girl, you told me you're ready.
Huh?
You ready?
I'm coming. I'm slow.
I'm ready. It's just so juicy. Like, we about to be woe out. So,
Okay. So 39.
mm-hmm.
Ready.
Of course you are. Okay. All right. Our friends in this and other countries, anxious for our elevation.
Hold on. I'm not on that page.
Oh, wait. Okay. So, maybe technically that might be 39, 38.
Right. Yeah, I'm not ready. So,
My bad.
so what's the first sentence on the page you on?
Our friends in this and other countries at the very bottom of the page.
Um,
It's the next page is going to say 40 at the top on the page, but it's really 39 when you click on it.
okay. I don't see anything about our friends, but yeah, I don't.
So you're going to click on the page, and when the tab drops down at the top, it will say page 38. Wait. Yo, this is so. Like, I really think we should just start this over. It's page
Nope.
30, the bottom of 38.
Okay. So click on which one? 38?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hour.
On the very
Okay. I'm with you. Ready.
woo, woo, woo. All right, here we go. Our friends in this and other countries, I scrolled too fast, anxious for our elevation, have for years been erroneously urging us to lose our identity as a distinct race, declaring that we were the same as other people, while at the very same time their own representative was traversing the world and propagating the doctrine in favor of a universal Anglo-Saxon predominance. The Universal Brotherhood. Haven't I heard of that?
Yeah, it's an organization called the Brotherhood of something.
Okay. So ably and eloquently advocated by that polyglot Christian apostle of this doctrine, had established as its basis a universal acknowledgement of the Anglo-Saxon rule. Polyglots. What's the polyglot?
What you looking at first? Huh? Hello? You all, I am going to just go ahead and look it up. Polyglot, knowing or using several languages. A polyglot career woman, a person who knows and is able to use several languages. Mid 17th century, from the French polyglot, from Greek glottus, from many, glotta, tongue. Okay. Okay, we're gonna try to get Dr. Helen back on the line. That is so weird. Okay. Polyglot. Polyglot.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so they're my trip away. Are you recording? Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay. So during my little trip, my little vacation, I went and looked up the word polyglot, and it's from 1650, from Greek polyglotto, speaking many languages, literally many tongued.
So are you gonna read back over the sentence?
Yes, I am. And it says language and tongue. See gloss. Girl, I ain't gonna read that. Y'all better go on etymology and look up polyglot. That's something to do with somebody being able to speak many tongues. Okay. The Universal Brotherhood, so ably and eloquently advocated by that polyglot or many-tongued Christian apostle of this doctrine had established as its basis a universal acknowledgement of the Anglo-Saxon rule. The truth is, we are not identical with the Anglo-Saxon or any other race of the Caucasian or pure white type of the human family. And the sooner we know and acknowledge this truth, the better for ourselves and posterity.
Hold up.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. The proof is already written. See,
Shit.
this is what I'm talking about. This dude here makes me hope I was of his bloodline.
Let's see. Let's just wait. Let me find out.
Oh, okay.
The truth is, oh wait, I said that. The English, French, Irish, German, Italian, Turk, Persian, Greek, Jew, and all other races have their native or inherent peculiarities, and why not our race? We are not willing, therefore, at all times and under all circumstances, to be molded into various shapes of eccentricity to suit the caprices and conveniences of every kind of people. We are not more suitable to everybody than everybody is suitable to us. Therefore, no more like other people than others are like us. We have then inherent traits, attributes, so to speak, and native characteristics peculiar to our race, whether pure or mixed blood, and all that is required of us is to cultivate these and develop them in their purity to make them desirable and emulated by the rest of the world. Drop and
You know what?
Like this is like the. I don't think we can call anything in 2017 a read. This is a legit read. We have then inherent traits. Oh wait, why do I keep doing that? Shame. Okay. All right, that the colored races have the highest traits of civilization will not be disputed. Will not be disputed. I like the way this is perfectly.
Right.
They are civil, peaceable, and religious to a fault.
To a fault.
Yes. To a huge, humongous, gonna cause you to be gone fault.
To a fault.
In mathematics, sculpture, and architecture, as arts and sciences, commerce, and internal improvements as enterprises, the white race may probably excel. But in languages, like when I look down this way, I'm looking at you, but in languages, language is important. In the true principles of morals, the true principles of morals, that's those laws, statutes, and commandments, correctness of thought. We got to make my band keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. So correctness of thought, religion, you can have that, and law or civil government. There is no doubt but the black race will yet instruct the world. You, Jesse, how does it say Christianity? I claim it. I claim it.
Right.
Girl, that man said, in the true principles of morals, correctness of thought, we'll say about religion, and law or civil government, there is no doubt but the black race will yet instruct the world.
Ain't no doubt.
Come here, shut all so we can get the same popping. It would be duplicity longer to disguise the fact that the great issue, sooner or later, upon which must be disputed the world's destiny, will be a question of black and white. And every individual will be called upon for his identity with one or the other. And the blacks and colored races are 4/6 the black population, the blacks and colored races are 4/6. So out of this many is us, of all the population of the world. And these people are fast tending to a common cause with each other. Damn sure is. The white races are but 1/3 of the population of the globe. So out of this many, there's this many.
Right.
Okay. Wait, did I do that right?
You so fun.
Okay. All right. The white races are but 1/3 of the population of the globe, or one of them to two of us. And it cannot much longer continue that 2/3 will passively submit to the universal domination of this 1/3.
Right.
And it is notorious that the only progress made in territorial domain in the last 3 centuries by the whites has been a usurpation and encroachment on the right and native soil of some of the colored races. I'm still 99.9% with the article. That 0.1% was for that religion part.
Mm.
All right, the East Indies, Java. Like, keep in mind the V and the W, right? Remember, did you see the video on YouTube about the Jaroa people in India, the indigenous people? That's like this color.
Right. The Java.
Right. I wonder if they have anything to do with anything. Sumatra, the Azores, Madeira, Canary, and Cape Verde Islands, Socotra, Guadeloupe, and the Isle of France, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, Barca, and Egypt in the north, Sierra Leone in the west, and Cape Colony in the south of Africa. Besides many other islands and possessions not herein named, Australia, the Ladrone Islands, together with many others of Oceanica. Well, all my cousins look like they from Oceanica. The seizure and appropriation of a great portion of the western continent, with all its islands, were so many encroachments of the whites upon the rights of the colored races. Damn sure was. Nor are they yet content, but intoxicated with the success of their career. The Sandwich Islands are now marked out as the next booty to be seized in the ravages of their exterminating crusade. What you know about the Sandwich Islands, Shawty?
Oh, the Sandwich Islands. I want to search it.
Okay. So they said that the Sandwich Islands were the next, marked out to be the next booty to be seized in the ravages of their exterminating. So while you're looking it up, shall I continue, or you got it already?
Sandwich Islands. It was the name given to the Hawaiian Islands, which was recent. Didn't U.S. have to conquer that? By James Cook in 1778. Sandwich Islands or Sandwich Island. Yeah, and it ain't much on it, of course. But all right.
That's all you.
Yep. Hawaii, basically.
We should see what Francisco knows about that.
Well, I know you.
But why am I saying Francisco like he know me like that? Video.
Let me see. There's a YouTube video of a lady from Hawaii, and somebody called in and was a caucasoid or caucasoid. Yeah, I like that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was trying to act like that there was their land, and the lady was a little breeded out, but she set the lady straight. She was like, "This is not your land. Like, y'all not indigenous to here." But I know the United States finally got it. Let's see. Matter of fact, since we're talking, when did the United States steal Hawaii?
I was gonna say acquire, but
No, because they stole it. They did it sneaky. You smart. They did it sneaky. Oh, okay. This says the U.S. didn't steal Hawaii, it annexed the Republic of Hawaii, fair and square. Rather, it was the sons and daughters of American missionaries who stole the islands from the native Hawaiians. So the missionaries stole Hawaii, and then U.S. came in after the missionaries, just like as usual. You know, they send the missionaries in first, and then they come steal it. And yeah. All right. Well, that answered that question. You,
that's crazy.
you ready?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was a little out. Okay. We regret the necessity of stating the fact, but duty compels us to the task that for more than 2,000 years, the determined aim of the whites has been to crush the colored races wherever found. Damn, 2,000, more than 2,000 years. All right. With a determined will, they have sought and pursued them in every corner of the globe. The Anglo-Saxon has taken the lead in this work of universal subjugation, but the Anglo-American stands preeminent for deeds of injustice and acts of oppression, unparalleled perhaps in the annals of modern history. We admit the existence of great and good people in America, England, France, and the rest of Europe, who desire a unity of interests among the whole human family of whatever origin or race. But it is neither the moralist, Christian, nor philanthropist whom we now have to meet and combat, but the politician, the civil engineer, and skillful economist who direct and control the machinery which moves forward the mighty impulse, the nations and powers of the earth. We must therefore, if possible, meet them on vantage, meet them on vantage ground, or at least with adequate means for the conflict. Don't agree with that. Well, I mean, I do agree, but not in the way that it sounded in his tone. Because it sounded like he ready to like physically pop off. I mean, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. But at the same time, you know, all we gotta do. All right.
That was your symbol.
Yeah. I'm looking at you like, is it good? Like, I feel like I need a plum or something. Like, I need to snack.
Girl, it is so sweet. And juicy.
I'm on my keto diet, so I can't even say right now. I should have some keto bombs.
Right.
So I guess I'm not prepared. I'm just gonna be hungry.
Well, I'm gonna eat for you, girl. Don't worry about it.
But it looks so good. I really want to.
I like the dark purple ones. I be like rich and juicy. Ray said,
Are you on your screen?
mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I should see she got damn juice dripping in crowd. Like, I feel like I want each. Or a pear or something. Alright, page 42. Should we encounter an enemy with artillery, a prayer will not stay the cannon shot. You heard what that man said?
What he said?
Should we encounter an enemy with artillery, a prayer will not stay the cannon shot.
Right.
Are y'all done? Y'all done? Are y'all finished or y'all done? Right. Black kneecaps and everything.
Right.
Neither will the kind words nor smiles of philanthropy shield his spear from piercing us through the heart. Oh, you better say these facts. Okay.
Uh-oh.
We must meet mankind then at We must meet kind man, then, as they meet us, prepared for the worst, though we may hope for the best. Our submission does not gain for us an increase of friends nor respectability. Didn't we tell y'all this gonna be a lonely road? Y'all better email each other because that's all you got. Our submission does not gain for us an increase of friends nor respectability, as the white race will only respect those who oppose their usurpation and acknowledge us as equals, those who will not submit to their rule. This may be no new discovery in political economy, but it certainly is a subject worthy the consideration of the black race. I concur. After a due consideration of these facts, as therein recounted, shall we stand still and continue inactive, the passive observers of the great events of the times and age in which we live, submitting indifferently to the usurpation by the white race of every right belonging to the black? Shall the last vestige of an opportunity outside of the continent of Africa for the national development of our race be permitted in consequence of our slothfulness to elude our grasp and fall into the possession of the whites? I think not. This, may heaven forbid, girl, you better stay out this darn Bible. May the sturdy, intelligent Afro-American sons of the Western continent forbid. Hell to the no. To the no. Okay.
You're so fun.
You like chuckle songs, because I feel like my jokes is dry this time.
Oh, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
See how she do me? Like, I was sick to my day job.
Yeah, they not dry, are they?
I like dry, corny humor, so like, I like shtick, I like...
Well, you told me that I need to stay focused so it won't be long, so I'm just trying to keep quiet.
Alright, well, never mind. Go back to normal. Alright, long to remain inactive, it should be borne in mind, may be to give an opportunity to despoil us of every right and possession sacred to our existence, with which God has endowed us as heritage partners. For let it not be forgotten that the white race, who numbers but one of them to two of us, originally located in Europe, for let it not be forgotten that the white race, who numbers but one of them to two of us, they originally located in Europe, besides possessing all of that continent, have now got hold of a large portion of Asia, Africa, all North America, a portion of South America, and all the great islands of both hemispheres except Papua or New Guinea, and they look inhabited by Negroes and Malays in Oceanica. And I promise you, if y'all look up some pictures of these New Guineans or these Malays or these Oceanic people, what up, them? The Japanese islands, peopled and ruled by the Japanese, Madagascar, peopled by the Negroes near the coast of Africa, and the island of Haiti in the West Indies, peopled by as brave and noble descendants of Africa as they laid the foundation of Thebes or constructed the everlasting pyramids and catacombs of Egypt. We already know what it is. So, all right, so that bumped them down to like a 99%. Okay, of people who have freed themselves by the might of their own will, the force of their own power, the unfailing strength of their own right arms, and their unflinching determination to be free. Let us then not survive the disgrace and ordeal of almighty displeasure of 2 to 1. He gonna keep me and Petty throwing out these numbers like to the one witnessing the universal possession and control by the whites of every habitable portion of the earth. Except Antarctica. Well, you can't even say except Antarctica because they turn around too. For such must inevitably be the case, and that too at no distant day, if black men do not take advantage of the opportunity by grasping hold of those places where chance is in their favor and establishing the right and power of the colored race.
And see, this is what I have to say about this. Unfortunately, all of us think that freedom comes by paperwork, by being nice, by just, oh, we're just leaving, It's not going to be that easy because we were on punishment. So to get it back, we're going to have to fight for it. And it might be on different levels. I'm hoping no violence, but the truth is, all these people know it's violence. So everybody can't think they're going to sit back and wait for it to happen. Sorry.
That's why I was wondering where does, like, I know we still have to study in the language to really see what it means to separate and, if that means literally cohere, whatever. If you study that, it just makes me wonder because of the nature of their nature, especially historically. And it's not in us to be, we some hits, don't get me wrong, but that's not in our nature, that's not our first go. Especially when we have the power right here. Like, how many battles in the Bible did our ancestors win just by speaking things into existence? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, where does that line fall into just, moving out of the way, chilling, talking to the Most High, and speaking the language, and doing what you gotta do, and just like rolling up your sleeve, put some Vaseline on your face, and your gas mask, and whatever else, and just do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like,
it's both, because it's like right now we are at war, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Black people, the only people that think that we're not at war, they gunning you down every day. Your children, your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, your sisters,
your judges, the people who are in office that's supposed to help us.
Yeah, which have not, but your leadership, that's who's being gunned down. And it's just like, at the end of the day, either we need to plan accordingly and all move one together. We need to set a deadline. That's what I be saying. Like, when I talk to the brothers, I love y'all. Peace and power to all the brothers bringing truth, because I listen. I actually watch your stuff. My thing is, you have to have a plan. This ain't something that you're just gonna freestyle. And then you have to set deadlines. We all have to leave at the same time. If we don't, how's it gonna be successful? Everybody's comfortable. We gotta come out. And we'll look up the etymology of the words, but even if it's just a spiritual shift, we all have to come out together. Power is in numbers. The Bible speaks of a lot of numbers. Nobody pays attention to numbers. We think that's not a part of it. It all is like working together. So
it's just amazing. Because here's the thing, like, I'm sorry, y'all. This is just a quick little side tangent because the thing is that there weren't so much about deception and studying to show yourself approved and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I really feel like we as indigenous people, as melanated people, as children of the Most High, I really think we underestimate who we're dealing with. And in doing that, it causes you not to like dig a little bit deeper because you don't feel like you have to. You see what I'm saying?
Which makes you vulnerable.
It leaves you vulnerable, and I'm just every time I'm keep kind of going back to the language because there's certain things that I've read. Shout out to Israel's Redemption. Like I get it now.
Thank you, Tanya Moore. Like, yes.
When you read things in the English language and what she considers the English mind, and then you slide that to the side and really try to tap into your inner most highness and try to get back to this Shemitic mind, this Shemitic language, y'all, like, it's not even just flip opposite. It's like going off into a couple of different scenarios, and they all are it.
Yeah, and see, that's what I
a lot by not knowing the Shemitic language. Like,
yeah. And
go out.
and what I want to say, how to describe it is like, with the Shemitic language, it's less to learn but more to consider, because it's just like it doesn't. But when you using words and you understand the association of words, and if it the rules of words. See, the English language teaches you one thing, black and white. Our language is not black and white. It is a whole lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's giving you a full detail of what these people are doing and who they really
And
are.
it shows you the duality of us as a being. Like, they talk about that whole good and evil situation, like, and how it's within us all. Actually, no, within our realm, we have the good, which is us, and you have the evil, which is the Balim. No, like, you. All right, okay, that's another video. Because, girl, I'm about to go off. So just recognize that the language is important, because that's what I'm starting to take away some of my percentage of bombness from this document, because I see what a lack of knowing what it's really saying will do, and how you're going to sound without knowing certain things. So, they're 99 or whatever.
You know what?
But what he said too is we must make an issue, create an event, and establish for ourselves a position. What position are we going to take on this whole thing? And you remember I was telling you, when I like meet people, or if I'm trying to like get to know somebody these days, the one thing you have to have, the non-negotiable, is the Most High got to be right here, and your end goal has to be trying to find this truth of knowing who you are, getting back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, and finding out what the flip we're supposed to do in the meantime. If we can't rap on that, then it's just, so in order for us to do that, I feel like there's instructions. Our language gives us instructions. And it says this is essentially necessary for our effective elevation as a people by establishing your position. So we got to figure out where we stand on things, and you won't know where you stand until you know what you're actually reading and interpreting.
Right.
And that will then give you the position. Once we get that, it says this is essentially necessary for our effective elevation as a people in shaping our national development, directing our destiny, and redeeming ourselves as a race. Redemption. I ain't even gonna say it, because y'all already know. I ain't gonna say it.
What?
Redeeming ourselves as a race. How will we be redeemed?
They waiting on Jesus to redeem them. Half of
Well, they are. I'm not. Y'all can. I'm just gonna do something a little different.
Right. Right.
So it says, if we but determine it shall be so.
Hold on. And y'all, we're not Jesus bashers. We both used to be after Jesus as well.
Y'all was a hot mess.
Me too. I was trying to save everybody. I was like, if you don't get saved, and I used to cry when people didn't want to get saved.
Girl, no, I used to be so emotional with the call to altar. They be walking down, girl, and it can be like 2 people, and I'm just having this rejoicing.
You know what?
And then right after that, go get crunk, eat oysters and crabs and shrimp, and some ribs. Being real petty.
You break it all off. Leave it on the edge.
We come straight out of church, going down to eat pork chops, ribs.
Damn.
Egg bones, all kept child.
And I ain't gonna lie, some of that pork was good. I like a neck bone. I like a neck bone here. I like a pork chop off the grill, a fried pork chop sandwich. Yes.
I mean, I really don't miss it. I was the only pork I really ate was, especially on this keto diet, you can eat a lot of bacon. Like, you would think I would have like clogged, they lied to you about this diet too, by the way, but you think I have clogged arteries? No, I lost so much weight and I ate bacon like damn near every day. So, but I don't miss it all. Like, I would rather not miss this boat.
Right. I was gonna say I don't miss it either, but I'm not gonna kick it like I didn't come down to Texas and find the best pork chop sandwich shop in America. Yes, I did. But then once I learned, that we weren't supposed to have it, I just cold turkey. I was like, okay,
Yeah, me too.
I'm done with that. But okay, I'm ready. Sorry.
Okay. All right, carry on. If we but determine it shall be so, it will be so. Speak it, just speak it. It'll be so, I promise you. It works. And there is nothing under the sun that can prevent it. Buddy cold with it. Buddy cold with it. We shall then be but in pursuit of our legitimate claims to inherit rights bequeathed to us by the will of heaven and the endowment of God, our common parents. Okay, a distinguished economist has truly said, God has implanted in man an infinite progression in the career of improvement. A soul capacitated for improvement ought not to be bounded by a tyrant's landmark. This sentiment is just and true. This sentiment is just and true. The application of which to our case is adapted with singular fitness. Having glanced hastily at our present political position in the world generally, and the United States in particular, the fundamental disadvantages under which we exist, and the improbability of ever attaining citizenship and equality of rights in this country, we call your attention next to the places of destination to which we shall direct immigration. So y'all gonna stun on us and bye, we out. And don't forget part 2 where they were talking about what happens when you dissolve the nucleus or you know what I mean? Remember that? Well,
Right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Who said that? That was him, right? Yep.
This was for part 2.
Okay.
All right, children. All right, brethren, sistren, my melanated people. Hear ye, countrymen and women, lend me your ears. This little old boy said, we shall direct immigration. The West Indies, and let me tell you, Barbados and Bahamas, shout out to Nassau 242. What you saying?
You know what?
Came hours before these places are a bomb. And they have really great food and awesome. And they mostly are medical. The West Indies, Central and South America. Oh wait, I was looking at you. Central and South America are the countries of our choice.
I was just putting up immigrate to leave one's own country in order to settle permanently in another. And it's from late 18th century Latin immigrated from the verb emergere, from out of. Some leave. That was for free, y'all.
Oh gosh, but look at where he's staying. These are all I've been to the West Indies. I haven't finished. I have not been to Central and South America, which is on the plan for this year. So we'll see what I like or whatever. Okay, no, but seriously, the places that they shall direct immigration are direct the melanated colored people to go to. They're going to say, hey, you guys should go here. That is the West Indies, Central, and South America. Those are the countries of our choice, the advantages of which shall be made apparent to your entire satisfaction. Yep, this literally is our blueprint this whole time. Though we have designated them as countries, they are in fact but one country relatively considered a part of this, the Western continent. That's true because when people think of America, they always only think of North America, which is or the United States.
Right.
But you have North, Central, South America, and you have the islands as well.
Which we all would fit comfortably in, even if we went all different directions. Because it's our natural habitat. It's more sunny. You have the ocean.
The weather is great. The food is fresh. Like going to
the tropical fruits.
They would, well, shame. I was eating conch. Conch is the shell that you listen to so you can hear the ocean. On the inside, I ain't gonna lie, it's real tasty, and you eat it fresh out of the ocean. You don't cook it. See how I was messed up?
I'm like,
I was all the way out of order. Ooh, dang. Ooh.
You're so funny.
But they would literally go fish and bring it out of the water and have it right there, because the beach and the shacks are like right there. The little conch shack right there. You come cook your food right there, or prepare your food right there, fresh out of the ocean. Like, I would be so fine because I'd be eating so good and healthy.
I was just saying, and tropical fruits help to keep cancers away from your body. So
fresh air.
Right.
I will say that going down there, once you even step off the plane, the energy is just different. Like, I try to explain to my Caribbean friends, like, why y'all ever want to leave? Like, hey, no, don't leave. It's when you get there, there's just a sense of just relaxation, or just, not saying they don't have struggles or things that they worry or stress about, but it's not as, you can chill. You can be working hard, doing all the stuff you're doing here, but just more in chill mode because the energy and the frequency is different. Anyway, though we have designated them as countries, they are in fact a country relatively considered a part of this, the Western continent. As now politically divided, they consist of the following classifications, each group or division placed under its proper national head. Keep in mind, this is in the 1850s, 1854, okay? The French islands consist of Guadeloupe, and it was Martinique was Martinique now, but I think Cloud Airlines had some good deals from out of like Baltimore, DC area, or Boston, like that area, straight down low.
Where?
Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Where?
Girl, Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying something before you started reading this. I'm listening.
Oh, no, the airlines had a deal on that. They also say St. Martin. St. Martin is the one where the airplanes flying close to the beach on the shore.
Really?
I want to go, but they be capping on them darn plane tickets. Ooh, I ain't never heard of this place. It might be a song by now. Marie Gayante. Girl, what is that? Marie
Gayante. Marie Gayante.
Is Guyana?
No, it's Marie or Mariette.
The modern name, today's name.
Marie Gayante or Marie Gayante. Yante. I made up my own language.
Marie Gayante. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that might be
Gayante.
Somebody Google that. I don't know. Google it later. Deseada. Never heard of that. You should low-key be Googling this. So those were the French islands, and actually Martinique and Guadeloupe are still like considered a French island. Like they speak French. Yeah. Danish islands consist of Santa Cruz, St. Thomas, St. John's, and those are the Virgin Islands now. And the Santa Cruz, they ain't Puerto Rico. Swedish is St. Bartholomew. I don't know about that. Dutch is St. Eustatia. Curacao, Curaçao, which is Curacao now. St. Martin, the south part. Oh yeah, because St. Martin is split into two. You got the Dutch part and the French part. All right, St. Martin, Saba. I don't know Saba. Margarita in Venezuela. The Spanish have Cuba, Puerto Rico. You hear my Spanish?
I hear you rolling your tongue.
I'm practicando. The British have Jamaica, Yad, Barbados, Trinidad, Antigua. Girl, I feel like I'm in a Caribbean. You know I'll be going to the Caribbean. Well, I used to go to the Caribbean party with the soca party.
So are
Trinidad.
you know what?
Trinidad, stand up. Okay, St. Vincent, St. Kitts. I could just get my hair. Everybody flag, line up. St. Kitts, Dominica, St. Lucia, Tobago, Nevis, Montserrat, Tortola, Barbuda, Anguilla, Bahamas, Bermudas. The British have all of those, and they are still super British. Like in the Bahamas, they drive on the wrong side of the road still. It's so weird. Haitian nation. Haitian, Haiti, like I say.
So look,
Huh?
are all these French? What language do they speak predominantly?
A lot of them speak English. Like they speak English, but then like in Saint Martin, on the island of Saint Martin, you have the north part. There's a Dutch part and a French part. So it's like two different languages on one. It's so crazy. Like y'all ain't all on the same landmass, but yes.
Are these were they conquered by the Spanish?
Yeah, that's why you see the names on them. So like the Danish, the name on the top is who got them.
Oh, wow, okay.
But then when you go down to IT and the bottom, they just say Haitian. They got themselves.
So these people done conquered like every land that we existed.
Yeah, and when you go over there, you can see the influence. Like you can literally see the influence.
It's so sad.
Even on some of the money, you be like, all right. So yes, that's the list. In addition to these, there are a number of smaller islands belonging to the Little Antilles. Oh yeah, the area and population of which are not known, many of them being unpopulated. Really populated now. These islands in the aggregate form an area allowing 40,000 square miles to Haiti and her adjunct islands, and something for those, the statistics of which are unknown, of about 103,000 or equal to the extent to Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and a little less than the United Kingdoms of England, Scotland, Ireland, and the Principality of Wales. The population being on the above date, 1840, 3,115,000, 3,100,000, I just said that, and allowing an increase of 10% in 10 years on the entire population. There are now 3,250,000 inhabitants who comprise the people of these islands. Central America consists of Guatemala, San Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. These consist of 5 states as shown in the above statistics, with a united population of which in 1840 amounted to 1.8 million inhabitants. The number at present being estimated at 2.5 million shows in 13 years 700,000 being 1/3 and 1/8 of an increase in population. So they giving you these receipts, honey. They breaking it down. They giving you statistics, facts. You talking about you wanted a plan. Here go your
right.
Kind of ish. Might be able to borrow things.
I was gonna say we need to get it off the internet for.
Okay.
For they see.
Well, y'all can print this out too. I'm gonna print this out. 11 page, 78 pages of lamination.
Right.
Put it in a damn lock and key. Okay. South America consists of New Granada, Venezuela, Ecuador, Guyana. That wasn't Guyana in the front. Earlier list. Guyana, Brazil, North Peru. Oh, I did my art. North Peru, South Peru, Bolivia, Buenos Aires, and Paraguay.
You know what? I'm gonna need you to speak English.
Uruguay, Chile. Girl, this feels like Chile for real. Chile, Patagonia. The total area of these states is 7,050,000 square miles, but the comparatively little 450,000 square miles less than the whole area of North America in which we live. So that letting you know that this can work. We can do this. But the state in South America, Brazil, is an abject slave-holding state, and even here, all free men are socially and politically equal. Negroes and colored men, partly of African descent, holding offices of honor, trust, and rank without restriction. Did you know that?
What happened?
Y'all.
I'm looking at it. Tell me again.
They said that in Brazil, in South America, they talk about a lot of slavery going on in Brazil and how like they shipped a lot of Africans to Brazil. And it says Brazil is a slaveholding state, but even here, all free men are socially and politically equal. Negroes and colored men, partly of African descent, holding offices of honor, trust, and rank without restriction. So they were still able to have their autonomy down there. Like just regular. I guess us being up here, we don't really pay attention to like the history and stuff elsewhere. Which I'm thankful to the other YouTube authors that bringing out a lot of that history that we never otherwise would be able to check into. So hopefully, I guess we'll keep watching those videos. They might shed some light if they haven't already. It says, in the other states, slavery is not known. All the inhabitants enjoy political equality. Restrictions on account of color being entirely unknown, unless indeed necessity induces it. When in all such cases, the preference is given to the colored man to put a check to European presumption and insufferable Yankee intrusion and impudence. So they're saying like if you was melanated and wasn't a slave, if you was a free man, like you was living it up. But then we already know what happened in history. They brought their ass. It was over there cutting up too. So, all right, ready?
Yeah.
The aggregate population. I think she ain't paying attention at all.
I am.
Hey, what do you mean? What is that?
Girl, you don't want to know.
All right. I will. Sit down.
I'm just like.
All right. The aggregate population was 14,040,000 in 1840, allowing for 13 years the same ratio of increase as that of the Central American states, being 1/3, 4,680,000. This gives at present a population of 18,720,000 in South America. And keep in mind, we have like what 300 million now. They got expected, or it's probably more than that now. Well, hell, probably less because everybody down on them opioids and gun violence.
But it's like you smart them or us.
I didn't say anybody, just say in general. Like people is checking up out of here that ain't never checked up out of here before.
I was gonna say, well, they checking up out of here because they got 2 full states. They never talk about full states addicted to meth. So they like.
What is that? West Virginia and what?
I don't know.
West Virginia is
Really? West Virginia.
Georgia need to be added to the list because they got more meth than a little bit around here.
Really?
They're up there down what's that out there, the Cumming and all these northern.
Where they moved to, and now they got the
Ripping up work.
Right.
Oh Lord. All right, so 1/7 of this population. Here we go. Ooh, gee. He looked like. Do you remember Power Rangers from back in the day when we was jiggers? Remember the putties? He like a putty.
He looks scary. Okay.
Alright, but 1/7 of this population, 3,495,714, being white or of pure European extraction. Oh, damn, it's about in Guatemala. Wait, did I go down too fast?
I don't know. I have to use the restroom, so I'm gonna be back. You want me to pause?
Yes.
Okay. You see how you was being?
Look, I was ready. After the pop off, girl. I was ready.
Okay, we back.
Okay. I apologize. I got trigger happy.
Okay.
I'm gonna start here. Add to this the population of the Antilles and Guatemala, and this gives a population in the West Indies, Central and South America of 24,470,000 inhabitants. But 1/7 of this population, so 1 out of 7, 3,495,714 are white, or excuse me, being white or of pure European extraction. There is a population throughout this vast area of 20,974,286 colored persons who constitute from the immense preponderance of their numbers the ruling element, as they ever must be, of those countries. Remember we talking about that in the first video we did, and how they're the ruling element here, and that we'll never be able to gain equal footing. Because they're the ruling element and they hell bent on destroying it.
It made me think about every time you see a Jamaica ad, it's a Caucasian ad. Anytime you see an ad for the islands, it's the damn invaders, the colonizers in the commercials now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not only,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, not only did they take it from you, and now they're acting as if it's theirs. Just like here.
Speaking of hate, I don't know what that earthquake was about.
That who?
That earthquake. Remember that massive earthquake that was just like horrible?
Where was it at? Haiti? Yeah.
Alright, another day. There are no influences that could be brought to bear to change this most fortunate and heaven-designed state and condition of things. Nature here has done her own work, which is most high, which the art of knaves nor the schemes of beaks designing political impostors can never reach. This is a fixed fact in the zodiac of the political heavens, that the black and colored people are the stars which must ever most conspicuously twinkle in the firmament of this division of the Western Hemisphere. We next invite your attention to a few facts upon which we predicate the claims of the black race, not only to the tropical regions and south temperate zone of this hemisphere, but to the whole continent, north as well as south. And here we desire it distinctly to be understood that in the selection of our places of destination, we do not advocate the southern scheme as a concession, nor yet at the will nor desire of our North American oppressors, but as a policy by which we must be the greatest political gainers without the risk or possibility of loss to ourselves. A gain by which the lever of political elevation and machinery of national progress must ever be held and directed by our own hands and heads to our own will and purposes, in defiance of the obstructions which might be attempted on the part of a dangerous and deep-designing oppressor. From the year 1492, the discovery of Hispaniola, the first land discovered by Columbus in the New World, to 1502, the short space of 10 years, was the mortality among the natives that the Spaniards, then holding rule there, began to employ a few Africans in the mines of the island. The experiment was effective, successful. The Indian and the African were enslaved together. When the Indian sunk and the African stood. I saw your face. It was not until June 24th of the year 1498 that the continent was discovered by John Cabot, a Venetian, or John Cabot, a Venetian, who sailed in August of the previous year, 1497, from Bristol, under the patronage of Henry VII, King of England. Girl, y'all better come and get this history. In 1517, the short space of but 15 years from the date of their introduction, Carlos V, King of Spain, by right of a patent, granted permission to a number of persons annually to supply the islands of Hispaniola, Saint Domingo, or Santo Domingo, Cuba, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico with natives of Africa to the number of 4,000 annually. John Hawkins, a mercenary Englishman, was the first person known to engage in this general system of debasing our race, and his royal mistress, Queen Elizabeth, was engaged with him in interest and shared the general profit. The Africans, on their advent, soon experienced the want of their accustomed food and habits and manner of living. The Aborigines subsisted mainly by game and fish, with a few patches of maize or Indian corn near their wigwams, which were generally attended by the women, while the men were absent, engaged in the chase, or at war with a hostile tribe. The vegetables, grains, and fruits, such as in their native country they had been accustomed to, were not to be obtained among the Aborigines, which first induced the African laborer to cultivate patches of ground in the neighborhood of mining operations for the purpose of raising sustenance. So if he did that, where he get seed from? Gary, what did you do over there?
Drinking water. I'm just thinking, like, you think he means like the African?
Like, well, you remember his mom? What did I say? His mom was Indian.
I'm not sure.
I think she's African. If you go back to the very beginning of it, or in that article, the other article you had up on the last video describing this Delaney character. And then keep in mind, we gotta look at the bottom and see if Delaney even had anything to do with this report. Okay. He has something to do with creating the convention, but this particular report, we need to look at the bottom and see who wrote it, because those are the people whose words these are.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me just keep going. This trait in their character was observed and regarded with considerable interest, after which the Spaniards and other colonists, on contracting with English slave dealers, Captain Hawkins and others, for new supplies of slaves, were careful to request that an adequate quantity of seeds and plants of various kinds indigenous to the continent of Africa, especially those composing the staple products of the natives, be selected and brought out with the slaves to the New World. Many of these were cultivated to considerable extent, while those indigenous to America were cultivated with great success. Now, here's my thing. I recognize that the narrative of the transatlantic slave trade is not hashtag facts, it's alternative facts. And I ain't gonna lie, I haven't researched myself to really say that this is what I think happened. I've seen the speculation about the voyages being more between North, Central, and South America than it was from Africa to here. And then I've seen stories about people being shipped to other parts of the world from Africa as well. So I don't know what to make of it all. So I'm just going to reserve my comment for this and just read what it says and just take it as that. All right. I mean, D-Bag, Cricket, Mueller.
He's so funny. No, I was just thinking like what he was saying was when they came to the New World. My question is who that from Africa? Because now this is what I think this is. He might believe in the Africa theory back then, but I think that this is when they were shipping like from all along the coast. They were taking people off the coast and then shipping them back to another part of
South America, Central America, like that.
Yeah, the country that they weren't in, like they weren't used to. And he said that the seeds from Africa, I don't know. He said that, but the seeds that were indigenous to America, they grew and blossomed successfully. So I'm like, he trying to make it seem like they came here and cultivated the place, but it was already cultivated by us.
Man, that's why like he's getting these. He was saying that they had trips of like 4,000 people per. Like they brought, I guess, an annual amount of 4,000 slaves to the island and stuff like that. But I'm like, is that like African as in Hamitic? All the different Hamitic, Cushite, Canaanite, all down the lines. Is it them or is it a Shemitic people that they got off the coast of Africa? Like like I learned in Bible camp.
Like what?
Like I learned in Bible camp.
Right.
Or Israelite camp, Israelite Bible camp. So whenever see people, watch viewers, that is a prime example of why you need to read for your daggone self and quit listening to people so you can know. So now I gotta like put this to the side, go learn on that, and then come back to it. Moving on. Shortly after the commencement of the slave trade under Elizabeth and Hawkins, the Queen granted a license to Sir Walter Raleigh. What was that name? Walter Raleigh to search for uninhabited lands and seize upon all unoccupied by Christians. Sir Walter discovered the coast of North Carolina and Virginia, assuming the name Virginia to the whole coast, now comprising the old 13 states. Oh, wait a minute! Sir Walter discovered the coast of North Carolina and Virginia, assuming the name Virginia to the whole coast, now comprising the old 13 states. So when they say all this stuff like popped up in Virginia, did it mean like literally the state of Virginia, or was it like extra? Because they were saying they considered it the whole 13 colonies.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to pull out a pliers test like that.
I'm gonna need you to leave Plaza. Yeah.
Yeah, look, this is the pliers I knew before I came into the truth. I don't know what he's doing now, but back then he was saying this.
Shaving his facial hair.
He's saying other things that I will not repeat on this channel. I'm a child of the Most High.
I told my friend, I said, why he shaving his facial hair? Like, it's like weird.
Looking like Kurt Franklin twin.
Looking like he be looking like he be doing too much without it.
Okay. So I got real anxious just thinking about this whole Virginia thing, but I'm like, what if that's what was really the case? Like, maybe we should dig into that on another video.
You did.
Maybe not another video, but we should just chat about that. Okay.
Right. I was gonna say we can do a video, long as you doing the digging, and I'll be the assistant. I have it up on screen.
See, let me find me in this other part because you're gonna make me do all the work.
I am not.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But yeah, but that's gonna be interesting to find out because I got some documents too that I found that being written all over. I'm just wondering. Anyway, so Virginia compromised the old 13 states. A feeble colony was here settled, which did not avail much, and it was not until the month of April 1607 that the first permanent settlement was made in Virginia, under the patronage of letters patents from James I, King of England, to Thomas Gates and Associates. I think I read about this. This was the first settlement of North America in 13 years anterior to the landing of the Pilgrims of Plymouth Rock. So those are the people who came and failed, right? And that first set of people came and they starved out and was just whole.
They came and fell.
Yeah, they starved out because they didn't know how to cultivate the land. They were talking about digging up our ancestors' bodies and eating that flesh and all of that.
Yeah.
Because they came before the Pilgrims on Plymouth Rock.
They what?
They came before the Pilgrims on Plymouth Rock. So anyway, and we shall now introduce to you from acknowledged authority a number of historical extracts to prove that previous to the introduction of the black race upon this continent, but little enterprise of any kind was successfully carried on. The African or Negro was the first available contributor to the country and consequently is by priority of rights and politically should be entitled to the highest claims of an eligible citizen. Now that need to be on a card somewhere. When somebody try you, cool, throw that out. No permanent settlement was effected in what is now called the United States till the reign of James I. Ramsay's History, U.S. Volume 1, page 38. The month of April 1607 is the epoch of the first permanent settlement on the coast of Virginia. The name then given to all that extent of country which forms 13 states. Well, he said it again. Again, the whole coast of the country was at this time explored, not for the purpose of trade and agriculture, because there were then no such enterprises in the country, the natives not producing sufficient of the necessaries of life to supply present wants, there being consequently nothing to trade for, but like their Spanish and Portuguese predecessors, who occupied the lands in different parts of South America in search of gold and other precious metals. Trade and the cultivation of the soil on coming to the New World were foreign to their intention or design. Consequently, when failing of success in that enterprise, they were sadly disappointed. At a time when the precious metals were conceived to be the peculiar and only valuable productions of the New World, when every mountain was supposed to contain a treasure and every rivulet was searched for its golden sands, this appearance was fondly considered as an infallible indication of the mind. Every hand was eager to dig.
Right.
And y'all had to dig y'all ass up some dead people and eat. Y'all priorities. There was now, said Smith, no talk, no hope, no work, but dig gold, wash gold, refine gold. With this imaginary wealth, the first vessel returning to England was loaded, while the culture of the land and every useful occupation was totally neglected. Dang.
So all they were doing was collecting gold.
And effing up the earth in the process. And they give two damns about it. The colonists thus left were in miserable circumstances for want of provisions, and provisions is synonymous with food. Digging so much you didn't have time to eat. The remainder of what they had brought with them was so small in quantity as to soon be expended, and so damaged in course of a long voyage as to be a source of disease. And y'all be riding food, okay. In their expectations of getting gold, the people were disappointed. The glittering substance that they had sent to England proving to be a valueless mineral. Smith, on his return to Jamestown, found the colony reduced to 38 persons, who in despair were preparing to abandon the country. He employed caresses, threats, and even violence in order to prevent them from executing this fatal resolution. Like, no, you can't leave. We gotta make this work. The Pilgrims are Puritans, because the Pilgrims and Puritans are the same thing. In November 1620, after having organized with solemn vows to the defense of each other and the maintenance of their civil liberty, made the harbor of Cape Cod, landing safely on Plymouth Rock, December 20th, about 1 month subsequent. They were 101 in number. From the toils and hardships consequent to a severe season in a strange country, in less than 6 months after their arrival, 40 persons, nearly one half of their original number, had died. Dang. In 1618, in the reign of James I, the British government established a regular trade on the coast of Africa. In the year, okay, so these years stuff are probably important. In the year 1620, Negro slaves began to be imported into Virginia. A Dutch ship bringing 20 of them for sale. Now keep in mind, where did the Dutch conquer? Do you remember all the islands we just named? Okay. But they from Africa. Bringing 20 of them for sale. And you only brought 20 from Africa? Anyway, that's
really?
Yeah. From Sampson's Historical Dictionary. Girl, we had to find Sampson's Historical Dictionary, hunty. I bet it's about $1 gajillion. It will be seen by these historical reminiscences that the Dutch ship landed her cargo at New Bedford, Massachusetts. The whole coast, now comprising the old original states, then went by the name of Virginia, being so named by Sir Walter Raleigh. Oh, Raleigh, North Carolina, that's what it is. In honor of his royal mistress and patron Elizabeth City State College. That's in damn North Carolina too. And the Virgin Queen of England, under whom he received the patent of his royal commission to seize all the lands unoccupied by Christians. That's damn everything else, because all of them kept dying. Okay. Beginning their preparations in the slave trade in 1618, just 2 years previous, allowing time against the landing of the first immigrants, for successfully carrying out the project, the African captains and Puritan immigrants, singularly enough, landed upon the same section of the continent at the same time. 1620, the Pilgrims of Plymouth, the Pilgrims at Plymouth and the captive slaves at New Bedford, but a few miles compared to the south. I need to hydrate. The country at this period was one vast wilderness. The continent of North America was then one continued forest. There were no horses, cattle, sheep, hogs, or tame beasts of any kind. There were no domestic poultry. There were no gardens, orchards, public roads, meadows, or cultivated fields. They often burned the woods that they could advantageously plant their corn. They had neither spice, salt, bread, butter, cheese, nor milk. That's a lot. Okay, anyway. They had no set meals, but eat when they were hungry, or could find anything to satisfy the cravings of nature. You know, that's crazy is one of my mentors in my career, he says that you should only eat when you're hungry and drink when you're hungry. He has a practice based like solely or largely on nutrition and reversing disease. That if he has it or whatever, your body alerts you when you need to eat, when it needs something, and it alerts you when you need to drink. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's what they have said. It says very little of their food was derived from the earth except what it spontaneously produced. The ground was both their seat and table. Their best bed was the skin. They had neither iron, steel, or any metal instruments. Ramsey's History, page 39 through 40. We adduce not these extracts to disparage or detract from the real worth of our brother, for we are identical as the subjects of American wrongs, outrages, and oppression, and therefore one in interest, far be it from our design. But keep in mind, this is 1850s. When was I'll look it up after this. So, okay. We are identical as the subjects of American wrongs, outrages, and oppression, and therefore one in interest, far be it from our design. Whatever opinion he may entertain of our race, in accordance with the impressions made by the contumely heaped upon us by our mutual oppressor, the American nation, we admire his for the many deeds of heroic and noble daring with which the brief history of his liberty-loving people is replete. We sympathize with him because our brethren are the successors of his in the degradation of American bondage, and we adduce them in evidence against the many aspersions heaped upon the African race, avowing that their inferiority to the other races and unfitness for a high civil and social position cause them to be reduced to servitude. For the purpose of proving their availability and eminent fitness alone, not superiority and not inferiority, first suggested to Europeans the substitution of African for that of Indian labor in the mines. That their superior adaptation to difficulties consequent to a new country and different climate made them preferable to Europeans themselves, and their superior skill, industry, and general thriftiness in all that they did first suggested to the colonists the propriety of turning their attention to agricultural and other industrial pursuits than those of mining operations.
This one made me think of so he's saying they might have brought some Africans here with them, but when they saw the Indian, they started plotting on them to make them their workers or laborers. And he's saying physically they are built for nothing but servitude. Right?
No, well, that's not, he's not saying that that's all they're built for, that's what they think. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying, I thought he was saying that the colonizers, just them being who they are, all they built for is servitude.
Okay. Yes, you're right. I misunderstood you. You're right.
What we gonna start?
How far are we?
We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. The end of this page.
Wait, what page we on?
You know what? 50.
I just scrolled down. I scrolled down. Okay.
It is evident from what was herein.
It is evident from what is herein been adduced, the settlement of Captain John Smith being in the course of a few months reduced to 38, and that of the Pilgrims at Plymouth from 101 to 57 in 6 months, that the whites nor aborigines were equal to the hard and to them insurmountable difficulties, which then stood widespread before them. An endless forest, the impenetrable earth, the one to be removed, and the other to be excavated. Towns and cities to be built and farms to be cultivated, all presented difficulties too arduous for the Europeans then here, and entirely unknown to the natives of the continent. In a period such as this, when the natives themselves had fallen victims to the task imposed on them by the usurper, and the Europeans also fast sinking beneath the influence and weight of climate and hardship that some was weighing their ass out.
Right.
When the food could not be obtained, nor the common convenience of life procured, when arduous duties of life were to be performed and none capable of doing them, save those who had previously by their labors, not only in their own country but in the new, so proving themselves capable, it is very evident as the most natural consequence that Africans were resorted to for the performance of every duty common to domestic life. All right.
So that's it. Okay, y'all. We're on 52 at the top of the page, 51 on the bottom, and whatever kind of reader you're going to use. That's where we're leaving off at. You have anything you want to say?
No, I'm going to go back and read it. It's a lot of stuff that I don't know historically, so it's hard for me to form an opinion. That's why I kind of just am reading and I stop. Because it's talking about all stuff, I just, so.
Girl, your picture on your YouTube is so beautiful. Beautiful. That wrap is black and gold or gold and black. Oh, okay. He's so funny. Yeah, go over and follow the Remnant. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like. And we're gonna pick up. When are we gonna be back? Next week sometime?
Girl, I don't know. We'll be back when we be back. Don't wait for us. Click the link. Read. You can definitely read this before we finish. You can definitely upload your own video.
But it won't be the same because like we're like likable.
Yeah, I don't even care. Like the information, I just care that the truth is somebody is saying the truth. That's all I care about.
Hey, look. The picture that's on the screen with your eyes wide open on your channel.
Yeah, that picture is so trash, and I don't know how to fix it. After they funny, you know I'm nervous. Y'all, when we hang up, I'm gonna have a whole meltdown. I got that picture that I'm gonna find.
Okay.
It's like.
Why did you buck your eyes?
No, it just took a thumbnail. It took a still like that. I was talking, and I probably was talking about that lady trying me and getting mad.
Okay, so look, when you go into your YouTube, go to edit videos, and then when you get in there, go down to the bottom of the pictures on the right hand side of it, and it'll say custom thumbnail. And you just pick a picture off your computer, so it won't be that one on the front.
Girl, because that picture is so bad.
Oh, that picture is funny, girl.
This ain't got no man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because that mama is crazy.
She know not to get me laughing. It's just when I click on your page, like that's.
It be the first thing. I'm just gonna upload some video that kind of like the bag. It's like it's always like the first thing. I ain't gonna lie, I like to watch my own videos because I'm weird like that. And I'm like,
girl, that junk is so funny. You have no idea. That just gave me a little life. I'm telling you.
She thinks, you know.
I'm just saying, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna. Right, I'm gonna click off of it now.
So you really just gonna have this thing? All right.
How I'm gonna tell them to go to your page?
Like, wait till I get a steal you.
No, what I was trying to do is tell them go to your page,
Don't
but
spell my name, Petty McBetty.
and look, the eyes on the picture just staring right at.
Oh, so y'all see this, right? Nah, don't get mad,
Yeah,
nah.
I'm not gonna laugh no more.
Stay back.
Thank you, Remnant, for coming and reading to us tonight and allowing me to, of course, laugh, be goofy, chew in the background. Y'all, if y'all hear me, I'm trying to learn to chew with my mouth closed. But
Oh, yes.
sometimes when I'm recording, I forget. So bear with me in my living life in the background, okay? Now, you want to say anything else? Go to Instagram, follow us both.
Y'all know what I say. Drink water.
You know what?
Mind
Peace,
your business.
peace and power to everyone, and we are out of here.